Hello, and welcome to episode 23 of Gamers Assemble, the podcast you don't want, you don't need, and yet here we are. Welcome.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Llama. Ooh. But we just need to
Selling
do that
it?
because we agreed on we were sold on
Yeah.
that. So
I have successfully sold the podcast. Welcome, everybody.
Can we do that again? Because I wasn't ready.
Okay, ready? 1,
So-
2, 3. Llama!
Llama.
Ooh. We fucked that. We're never going to get a recording contract. Sorry, listeners. If you just wanted to... I was going to
We've
say
lost
you
them
could
all.
skip that, but it's a bit late to say that
Yeah.
now. We should have given you like a warning at the beginning.
Yeah.
When I edit it, I'll put a disclaimer in.
Yeah. Apologies.
At
So...
1 minute into the podcast, please turn the volume down if you want to continue being able to hear properly.
Silencio.
And then I'll put some charities in just in case I need help afterwards.
Oh my god, girl, you should be here whenever I'm playing Rock Band, the poor neighbours. The poor neighbours.
We should tell you what this podcast is. So,
that'd be
we're
helpful.
doing it on Wednesday today, which isn't the normal day we do it. We normally do it on Sundays. But we're on a Wednesday night because we're terrible at scheduling. And all of us have day jobs which have gotten insanely out of control. So we had to reschedule and be agile and flip and adapt, and now we're on a Wednesday just for this week. Although who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
But it's hump day, so,
everything's better on hump day.
And let's be honest, Llama, you might be getting a hump later. Us two aren't. But we're closer to the weekend, so,
Hey, look.
Almost
if you gotta
there.
do you do you. There's no
Literally.
judgment here.
Self-love.
No judgment here.
Ooh.
Gotta love yourself first.
Yeah, I was going to say, as RuPaul would say, if you can't love yourself,
Is that what she was on about?
how else are you going to wank somebody else off?
Well, it's called skiing, girl.
Like, that's what you should see on one of those inspirational, like, Instagram quotes, like in the little box with like a sunset in the background and like really nice writing. If you can't love yourself, how are you gonna wank
It needs
someone
to be
off?
like a landscape, like at sunset. I agree, like all the different that things, like a nice clear picture of a piece of wood.
Yeah.
Like with the
Somebody
cover
make
around
that.
it. Yeah.
Somebody make that and tag us in it on Instagram at Gaymers Assemble. GAYMERS Assemble.
Or
Spelled with an
Twitter,
ass.
because I don't have Instagram.
About time. Fucking hell, it's 2021.
I don't
Jesus
know.
Christ, Tiggs.
Maybe whenever we come out of lockdown, I will. What am I going to post to Instagram? Pictures of my bloody cats and me in the house. Like, seriously, this year has not
love
been
it.
that interesting.
Have you seen my Instagram? It's pictures of me and it's mostly pictures of my dogs and my wife building things.
I've not seen your Instagram because I'm not on Instagram.
Jesus, Tiggs.
The thing is, like, Tiggs, people will like shit, whatever they're into. So if you're posting pictures of your putty cats, people are going to be into that, and
There's a whole cats of Instagram hashtag. They fucking
100%.
love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Into
So
it.
me naked with just my flat cap on, that'll go down well, yeah.
Gays of Instagram, also a thing.
I don't even post that to Twitter, so it's not happening.
I thought it was like a gender neutral because I often call myself a gay woman. Because sometimes lesbian just feels a bit weird. I identify also as a lesbian woman, but sometimes I just say gay woman. But I thought, because sometimes, gay women, it's just a thing. So I tagged a picture, gays of Instagram or something once, and I clicked on it to see what other pictures were in that tag, and I don't think I should have used it. I don't think that tag was for me.
I've said this many a time. Like the hashtags on Instagram, or just hashtags in general, do not relate to the thing that you look for. Like, I hashtag gamer, and then I go looking at the hashtag gamer to see what it is. 90% of the time, it is some fairly muscular, good-looking gentleman in a jockstrap holding a PlayStation controller. I'm like,
Well, at least the ones you've seen have got
Well-
a controller in the picture. Most of them is just some guy looking at the camera going, #gamer, GAYMER.
that's true.
Again, future husband material. I mean, what are you complaining about, Beardy?
I mean, these
'Cause
are awesomely
that's not what I was
good looking
looking for.
guys, but I'm just
That's-
looking to see the gamer connection. Like, at least if you're holding a controller, you're trying.
Yeah.
Depends what controller.
I mean, anything's a game if you try hard enough.
Well, this is it.
And I think it's a game when you've got a controller attached to the end of it, so.
We've gone off on a massive tangent and we're like 4 minutes in.
Yep.
This video is sponsored by lovehoney.com. Not sponsored, but fucking Love Honey. Come sponsor us. I would love it. If you don't know, Love Honey is a sex toy website.
Could you imagine if we were like sponsored by Love Honey? Like I
would love it.
listen to
A
a load
discount on
of
there would
podcasts,
Make my day.
and they generally do like a little advert section where they'll just go off onto a tangent or something, and usually it's like, we here at this insert name of podcast love using insert name of product because blah blah blah. Take it for example, and then they'll give a person that works on the podcast a name. So here it would be like, we here at Gamers Assemble love Honey. Higgs uses their products on a daily basis. His wank sleeve is used over 35 million times in one
And it's available
quota.
on eBay.
Use the discount code Gamers Assemble at checkout to get 15% off your first purchase.
Can we try that discount code and see if it works? If anybody listens from Love Honey, can you make that discount code work? Can we just be sponsored, please?
If anybody wants to sponsor us, we're available for sponsorship.
We also love sex toys and love healthy, sexy relationships and love honey. So it's a relationship made in heaven. Please.
What did you say, Llama? You said it to me last summer, and I hadn't heard the term before, and I was like, that's my new favorite term. Sex positive. That's what we are here.
Oh, fuck yeah, we're sex positive. I love it.
Yes.
I happen to love sex.
Positively.
Positively love it.
Positively love it, darling.
So this week's podcast, we should tell people what this one's about.
Yeah, should we get this episode started?
Should we talk about what this episode's about? So we were super excited because it's like Women's History Month and International Women's Day was this week. So we thought, what better way to celebrate than to talk about the most epic female MCs in the gaming world? So that's what we're gonna do. So we'll get into that. We're gonna do a round robin episode. We're gonna each give you 2 runners up and then our all-time favorite. But first, I've got a little bit of housekeeping on the gay agenda. And the first part of that is that news roundup with Beardy. Is that what we're calling it? News roundup?
I
Beardy's
just
news
noticed
roundup.
this. I don't know where that's come from.
Oh, is it not a permanent thing now?
No.
I thought we discussed that.
Oh,
No, did I make that up?
maybe.
Well,
didn't
news
think it was
roundup
just-
with Beardy's on Friday.
It was just last week, wasn't it? Did we do it on Thursday last? We did it on Friday last week.
Yeah.
I thought
I
we
don't
had
know.
talked about moving it because of the PlayStation thing.
No, we talked about doing a live reacts to the PlayStation thing, which was on a Thursday,
Ah.
and we were going to do it, the news roundup on the Thursday, and then reacts straight after. And we did.
We're awesome.
Yeah.
So no
Hashtag
change to the
scheduling.
news roundup. It's on Fridays as normal, except for that one Friday when we didn't do it because we got busy with work and things. So that's gonna happen. Dungeons and Dragons. That happened-ish. It did. We got all dressed up and got all excited. We got rained off slightly by technical issues, but we got them all sorted.
Yes.
And we had another bit of a zero session where I tried yet again to make friends with all the wolves and they bit me on the ass. I don't understand why I built a character with no animal handling skills. I should have thought that through.
So we just also like, it sort of happened. What actually happened was me, Lama, and Sif sat for 2.5 hours chatting. I suggested alcohol, and Lama was wasted by the time we got to doing the 0 session.
No, no. I got tricked, bamboozled. It was a conspiracy.
Look over there.
They said, let's do drunk D&D. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm in. So I went and got my ciders, my beloved ciders, and started drinking. Unbeknownst to me, they weren't. So by the time the technical issues were sorted and we started playing, I was feeling quite merry. And they just thought that was quite hilarious.
It
and
was.
I had
really
been
was.
tricked. Which I'm going to report to HR. By the way, Beardy, can you take a note?
Mhm.
Tricksy little hobbits.
That was workplace harassment, and I'm not putting up with it.
Bullying in the workplace.
Yeah, bullying in the workplace. Please take a note.
I'm pretty
It
sure
wasn't-
there's
well,
something against initiations as well, isn't there? So I'm pretty sure that would fall under the bracket of initiations.
And Riggs has told us Drunkards and Dragons is the only way to play. And actually, I like Drunkards and Dragons. That's a better name. And I think that might be how I play. I've also, during the week, decided that... it's come to me. My character has spoken to me and told me that she has a Russian accent. So that's happened. We've worked on her.
But at least
a
you
lot.
can do that kind of stuff. Like, you're good at accent.
We've worked out already, Beardy, that I'm terrible at accents. This is not a good... But it's a fantasy world, so it's like a Russian-esque accent.
Oh my god!
And she has a lot of pickup lines. On my walks throughout town, we've worked... Her character has come to me. I'm really happy with it. It's going to be very exciting. So you'll have to tune in next Saturday, not this Saturday coming, whatever date that is. I don't do math. Don't math at me.
20th, I think.
See, you don't even know.
No,
Yep.
hang on. Let me.
20th. As Rigwell is
It
pointing out in the chat, like, Lama, if you need any voice acting hints or tips, feel free to drop by when I'm doing my...
Your Star Wars.
No. When I'm doing my Pokemon Nuzlocke in Sword, I fully voice act every single character because there's no voice acting in that game. Yeah, and it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty professional, pretty on point with all of my accents. Definitely something that I was pretty surprised about myself. Quite capable in fully realizing all these characters and their own unique voice.
See, I'm really good at voice acting when I can just make up whatever the fuck I want. Where I struggle is like when I'm doing, because I am a semi-professional voice actor in audiobooks. So when the author tells me this character sounds like this, suddenly I can't do it to save my life. So I narrate books live on Discord sometimes on another server, and I was talking to somebody and I said, oh, where are you from? While they were listening to me. And they said, oh, I'm from Switzerland. And I was like, oh, that's funny because this main character that I'm doing is from Switzerland. And she said, oh, they don't really have a Swiss accent, do they? I said, no, none of my characters have any of the accents they're supposed to because I can't do them.
All a lie.
All a lie. So yeah, fantasy fake voice acting, super good at. The actual job that I get paid for, meh. Where were we going with that? We're doing a podcast. Hi everybody.
I don't know where we were going with that.
No, you were just saying about your voice, weren't you?
Oh yeah.
It's sexy. I should throw that in somewhere. It's hot.
Well, some of the voices I make up in Pokemon are pretty hot.
Generally, your voice is a turn on, Beardy. Have I mentioned that before?
Dulcet tones, isn't
it? Yeah.
It's that slight Mancunian twang.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with Mancunian twang.
Nondescript, like, accent with a little Mancunian twang. A little bit, you know.
That's the one.
Boys.
Do you know what I haven't done yet? I haven't introduced you to. Nobody knows who the fuck you are.
Oh yeah. We're just
it's like two random dudes I'm speaking to.
Two random people she's got off the street.
This is what happens when we fall off schedule. We forget how to do that.
list
Since, like,
in front of
episode
me and
1 all
everything
over
that
again.
tells me what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just like willy-nilly ignoring it.
Are you drinking tonight, Llama?
It's just juice, I swear.
Nice. There's vodka in it.
So, I'm Llama, in case I haven't mentioned that, because I don't remember. And I'm joined tonight by our techno mage, as always, the weirdie that is Beardy,
Woo!
and the bouncy flouncy Tiggs.
Woo! I didn't know what that was.
Oh.
That was like a ooh,
It's like one of those
Yeah.
those things that are outside the car sales places.
Oh, wacky wave of inflatable tube man!
Yes, those things. I don't like them. They freak me out.
I am a tube sometimes,
freaks
let's be
me out as
honest.
well.
Yeah.
Pigs freaks me out. Right, the rules for tonight.
Yes.
So, as we said, in honor of International Women's Day and Women's History Month, we are counting down the most epic ladies in the gaming world. However, to keep it interesting, and mainly to stop me from naming Mass Effect or Fallout for a fucking change, we can only pick games with that have fixed main characters. So you can't create a character. We can't pick games where you can just choose your own gender. So you can't pick Mass Effect. You can't pick Assassin's Creed, anything like that where there's a character creation screen. Not part of the game. Have to pick something with a fixed character in the game. We each get 2 runners up, and then we get to crown our very own queen of the goddamn universe. So let's get into it. Tiggs, I'm going to give you the honor of going first. If you fuck it up, you're never allowed to speak again.
Oh, awesome.
Proceed.
No pressure. Okay, so my first one is Yuna from Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2.
Ooh.
10 to
Ooh,
what?
yeah.
10 to 10?
10 to 9.
10 and 2 is where you have to keep your hands on the steering wheel, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That action,
Safety first.
and I think we're back to skiing with that action. Right, okay, so I don't know if that was
Tell us about Yuna.
I don't know if that was pre-show or post-start. You didn't know about Yuna?
No.
Oh, she's awesome. She's
Who's
like
a Yuna?
Who's a Yuna? A Yuna's very pretty. She's got one green eye and one blue eye.
Is she like
She's very
corn?
pretty.
Or is that her last name?
What?
I asked if Yuna's last name was corn.
Oh, I get it. I was a little slow. There's a few breadcrumbs there. Beardy.
Have I told you recently that I love you, Beauty?
Welcome.
It's literally made my day. Right, okay. So she's a summoner, and she needs to go on a little like adventure to send all these fiends to so fiends are like undead that come and plague the world. And she sends them to the far plane, which is sort of like the game's version of heaven, or the afterlife, or something to that extent. And she does like all these cool little dances and everything, and she meets a guy called Tidus, which is your sort of angle into the whole thing. So although she's not technically the main protagonist,
Oh,
she
so
sort
we've
of is.
already gone out the rules straight away with number 1.
Well, I sort of
I gave you one simple rule.
the game's
two
all
rules.
the game's sort of about both of them, and you can play with them. You play with both of them. The intro into the game is Tidus, and then you meet Yuna, and then your life changes forever. And she's kick-ass. She gets to summon all these awesome like guardian forces or monsters, and like you've got like Ifrit, he's like a fire demon, fire god. Shiva, you must have seen the gifs of Shiva. The moment when you realize you're gay, girl all in blue, like sort of very like bra and pants, like very. I'll send you it, and it's her doing diamond dust where she clicks her fingers. Oh yeah, that's so awesome.
So what I'm getting so far is that this badass chick does a super cool dance, raises zombies, and then sends them to heaven.
Yeah, she does a dance and sends like people that are stuck in the people's spirits that are stuck in the world to the far plane, which is like heaven. So that's one side of what she's doing.
Is she
Because
at a rave?
no,
Is she high?
no,
Is this actually happening?
this is actually happening. Yeah.
Just checking.
It is. Now, the bit where she might be high and at a rave is whenever she summons these monsters to come and help fight, like Shiva and Ifrit and all that lot. And it's pretty cool. And then in the second game, uh, the opening scene, she is the main protagonist in the second game.
Why didn't you start with that one?
I don't know, I forgot about that.
We're so prepared.
We're so prepared. In the second game, they've got like some amazing songs, and it kicks off with a song where she's on stage, or is it really Yuna? Who knows? And they do this really kick-ass song, and like I have to say, I have maybe had the song on full blast around the house and like done some dance moves and everything. And Final Fantasy X-2. Google or YouTube the opening to that. It's well cool. And she's part of like this girl trio, and they get all these like. So in that one, how they change like their abilities is they've got these things called dress spheres, which is basically just like costumes. But if you change costume into like a black mage costume, you get like all like the abilities of casting spells and stuff. If you change it to a summoning costume, it means you can call down like the monsters and stuff. It is so cool. So cool.
Because depending on what outfit I'm wearing, like some outfits I put on and I'm like, I feel like a fucking badass. And then the next outfit, like I might have on like my super businessy power suit and I walk in and I'm like, fucking know all the business. And then I might put on like a different outfit and I'm like, I know all of this. Like I can get the business. What do we call them? Dress spheres.
Yeah.
I can get that. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah. And
I'm not going to call it a dress sphere though. I'm going to call it something else.
And she sings as well, and it is pretty good. And there's the storyline in the second one's quite nice. It's sort of tied to what happened in the first, and there's this really lovely song in the middle. But they're not directly tied together. You could play one without the other, just so you know. But in the middle of the first one, they do this lovely song. I'm not going to tell you, but I did cry. It was a very touching.
I'm not going to tell you, but I did cry.
I did cry. Get ready to cry. All the tears, especially if you play the first one. It's
I'm not going to cry because I don't have a soul.
You don't have a soul?
No. I'm going to cry at a video game that I'm not going to play. Let's be honest. It's Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
I haven't played 1 or 2.
You don't need. That's not how that works.
Is that not how that
works? Doesn't work like that, Llama.
Doesn't work like that. Each one's like an own individual world and characters and all that good stuff. So you don't have to play 1, 2, and 3 to play. You know,
I feel like they're kind of tricking you by putting numbers on them. Then it sounds like they're sequential when they put sequential numbers on them.
This is
kind
true.
of tricky.
This is true, but yeah, no, it's awesome. So Yuna's the first runner-up. She's awesome. I love Yuna.
You do like your dancing girls. I'll give you that. You're pretty consistent there.
Oh yeah, shorty and an easy master. I do love her. Might put that on after and do some of her dance moves in the kitchen.
Just do your practices.
Yeah.
Well, now is that so? I saw a slight digression here. I did see online the other day that you knocked someone into the canal. Was this because you were dancing? How?
Tell us the story,
I need to know how this happened because in my mind, I picture you on your walk, dancing like this, and some poor bike rider trying to like avoid your flailing arms and just going ass first into the canal, and then you just legging it.
Well, on yesterday's walk, I did do dance moves. I have to be honest. I got a really good song on, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm feeling this." Thankfully, there was no one around.
That's because they were in the canal.
In the canal.
canal pusher again. Avoid him.
It's not me. I'm not the real pusher. So funny story. So I went for a walk on Monday, and there's like a bridge near my house that the walkway one runs under, but it's quite like narrow. So I was halfway through the bridge and saw this cyclist coming towards me, and like there was no way he could pass me in there. So I sort of ran out and stood at the side of the bridge and like a little grassy bit or whatever. So he comes up on his bike, and
Is it like an overbridge or like one of those
no,
tunnel things?
going under the tunnel thing.
Right. Okay.
So I'm going under like an arch in a bridge. So then I step to the side so that he can pass. Fine, no problem. But he gets up on his bike and he's just stood up on his bike like this. And then he's like wiggling his front wheel trying to chat to me. I'm on the phone to my sister. And
so
he's
he
like,
stopped to chat you up.
He stopped. Well, I don't know if he was chatting me up or not.
He stopped to chat to you.
He stopped to say, "Oh, it's all right, mate. Ha ha ha." You know, like was making a joke, but I was also on the phone, so I wasn't really paying attention. So I just sort of walked on. This girl walked past me, and the next thing was, all I heard was sploosh. So him stood there wiggling his wheel. He lost his balance and went straight in.
This guy stopped to chat you up, lost his balance, and fell in the water.
I don't think he was chatting me up, right? So I was already like quite far away because I'm from the countryside, so I walk a country pace. And
you're a gay boy and you walk fast like a gay boy.
Like you're chasing potatoes.
Yeah, chasing potatoes.
Everybody knows gay people walk fast. There's a whole meme about it.
Is there?
Yeah. We power
My
walk
God.
everywhere.
Move, I'm gay. Have you not seen it?
Oh yeah, move, I'm gay.
Yeah, okay.
Step aside, I'm gay.
Right? Get out of the way.
We all walk like Olivia Pope strutting down the hall of the White House.
Darling, I don't mince. I glide.
I am the mince of the spag bol boom boom pow.
Gotta get that. I just went Black Eyed Peas. Gotta get that spag ball.
This walk's sponsored by Domio.
They're delicious. So did you get his number?
No, so it gets worse. So then he shouts, "Help me!" But he's already got himself out of the canal. So I was like, right, how am I going to help you? Are you going to just drag me in with you? Or are you going to
for you to come back and help him?
No.
He's definitely hitting on you and asking for you to give him attention.
And then do you want me to, now, like, if you're watching, I am so sorry, but I didn't know whether you were going to pull me in or punch me in the face. And the girl that had walked past me, that was literally stood directly beside them, was shouting at me down the road a bit, going, "Help him!" And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, he wanted your attention. He wanted to be like, "Oh, you saved me. Oh, let's go home and say hi to each other."
And let's also remember COVID.
Oh yeah.
Well, he could have had a couple of lateral flow tests in his bag, like.
Yeah. Just like.
After falling in the canal near my house, you would definitely more than a lateral flow test, a biohazard test.
I think he's probably got more things to worry about now than COVID after being in that canal.
Well, poor guy. That was a missed connection. I definitely think he was hitting on you, and you just ran away. That's sad.
You need to get like the newspaper and check out the missed connections pages and see if there's a story in there, like me riding bike, falling into canal, you walking away.
I'm gonna Google the Manchester newspapers and find it for you. I'm gonna find it.
If you find it, let me know. But I highly doubt it. Let's be honest. But it was really like I felt really awkward, and I was like, if it wasn't in the middle of like this pandemic and everything, I would probably go and help him. But don't want COVID, so.
Well, have you not got your mandatory 2-meter COVID stick? The stick we all have to carry around with us, as issued by Boris Johnson, to make sure we're all 2 meters apart from each other. Could have used that to help him out.
For poking and whacking and pulling people out of canals.
Let's have some fun. Let's make it quick. You want to take a ride in your COVID stick?
It has got the battery port and the button. Available from lovehoney.com.
Lovehoney. Capcom.
It's gonna get like all these weird responses on their website. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Getting requests for a 2 meter stick? What?
They're going to get. Do you know what would be brilliant? Is like some sort of vibrator that you can charge up from like a control pad or something, or where you attach a control pad so that you can play and wank at the same time.
Can you imagine if we had
That's what the Rumble Pack is.
Yes, from one of the first episodes.
falling back into
Everybody knows.
the love funny thing? Can you imagine if they made us a Gamers Assemble dildo? Like every time it turns on, it plays the intro music.
And you get points if you can finish before it ends.
You just
Gamify it. Gamify it.
Llama just screams out random point scorages
Yeah.
based on battery performance.
Sif on this. Add it to Sif's work stack.
Yeah.
We need to open his merch store.
Right, we are like 36 minutes into this and we've done one game.
Right. That's sorry. Yeah.
Yours was Unicorn, yeah?
Unicorn.
Unicorn from 10.2 or something.
Final Fantasy 10 too.
Yeah, that's
And yes, I do hope they make a 10-3 because I'd be down for that.
But is that how it... What?
I'm just reading the chat.
Oh. I was like, 10.1, 10.2, 10.3? Is that how they're numbering them now?
They did that with 13. Yeah. When they make sequels to like a main Final Fantasy, it's usually called like the number, and then it's got like 2 or 3 added to it if it's like a sequel.
Just need to do it like Pokemon and just be like, this is blue, this is diamond, this is suede, this is corduroy, this is marker. Like, just fucking name it something. This is weird. They're naming it like Microsoft names Xboxes, and it's confusing.
Sorry.
Can you please tell them that? Take a
Well,
note.
Final
Contact them.
Fantasy 16 is coming.
It's not 10.16.
No, it's just 16. Made me feel a bit wet, really, whenever I saw the intro to that.
Well, they'll put an expansion out. It'll be Final Fantasy 16 XP Pro.
PS 360.
Yeah. PS 360 265
XS.
XS XL. There you go.
We're in charge of naming things.
I
Beardy,
think that
what's your
should be an
first one?
episode.
Okay.
Well, us just naming things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my first one is slightly out of the bounds, maybe. So
We've already just fucked
yeah.
the rules, so might as well do what you want.
Sorry.
But I'm more in the rules than Tiggs, I feel. So my first run up is going to be Eivor from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
Okay.
technically you can pick between male and female. However, if you choose the canonical, like, when you go into the game, it's like pick male, pick female, or let the animus decide, and the let the animus decide is the canon version of the game, which makes you female. So technically, Valhalla is... That's where we're coming.
Okay.
Minus 10 points. Minus 10 points, Llama.
Shut up, you had -3. I'll allow it.
So I just love Eivor because she's just a badass Viking warrior who isn't bothered in... When it comes to female characters and strong female characters, video games, comics, books, like, I always get slightly annoyed when the person's actions are dictated by a love interest, because it kind of it takes some of the strength away from me a little bit. Whereas Eivor and her character is very much like, I'm just a badass and I'll fuck whoever I want of me. Like, I've just got my mission, I know what I'm doing, I know who I am, and how I'm gonna go do things. I just love her. I love her as a character. She's really well rounded. She's strong. She's independent. She fights for what she and protects people. Like, she protects her friends, her family, everything. And I think for me, female character
I like it. And in fact, I've seen a lot of the gameplay on that one, and it's one of the games that I keep thinking, I really want it to be on Game Pass so I can get it for free.
It's such a good, and it's another one of those things where, again, generally speaking, when it female characters, sex stuff out there, like, and she's not. She's still in the big Viking. She's wielding a great big sword like the boy. She's like the boy. Like, there's no difference between.
It's not for the male gaze, it's just
Yeah.
about the game itself,
Yeah,
about the
exactly.
story.
So
I like it. Yeah, I'll give you points for that. I like it. I have similarly, I think all of my choices actually are that sort of similar vein, and that it's not about the love interest or about being for the male gaze. It's about them being strong in their own right.
because
And my
that's one thing that
first
really, sorry, complete tangent, pissed me off about Wonder Woman.
one,
The both films, like Wonder Woman's supposed to be this amazing Amazonian fucking warrior, and both films by Esther.
Oh well, thanks for ruining the second one for me, Beardy.
I mean, should have seen it by now.
your poor time management is not our problem.
I can't say anything to that. I'm late for all the pre-show meets. Like,
And I'm pretty sure that like the majority of the marketing for 1984 does show that what's his face is back.
Yeah, all of
Guy
it.
from the first film, so it's not.
it's all right. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'll cry whenever I go to bed later.
It'll make you stronger.
Doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. Lama, continue your first pick.
Yes, thank you, Beardy. So as I was saying before, so rudely interrupted. And on Women's History Month of all months, do not talk over me, boy. Just kidding. So my first pick again was about I was looking for strong females in video games who were leading, but were doing it in a non-traditional way. So I was looking for characters that were twisting the norm a little bit. And the first one that really sprung to mind, and we've spoken about this one before, is Senua Hellblade Sacrifice. And just I fucking love it, right? So, I mean, the number one, just the graphics and the sound design. I'm a bit of a sound design whore. I love it. But that you play almost as one of the voices in her head, and you're never quite sure whether you're real or not, which is part of the game itself. But the character that you're controlling, Senua, is deep in an active psychotic episode, basically, is the only real way to describe it. And she's, working through massive grief. Her fiance or her husband, you're never quite sure. But the man that she loves and her entire village have been slaughtered by the Northmen, and she has had a mental break, and she's hearing voices and she's seeing things, and in her head she's decided that the only way she can make things right is to confront these visions, this darkness that she's seeing, and defeat these visions, and somehow that will bring her to Hela, the goddess of death, and that she can maybe strike a deal with Hela to bring her lover Dillion back to life. And as you're going through the game, you're never quite sure if the things that you're fighting, the bosses and everything, whether they're actually real or just in her head. And it's made more difficult because it never tells you what the buttons do. So you just get thrown into these boss encounters and you're like, button mash, which is generally my tactic throughout any game anyway. So it's fine. I was able to roll with that. But I loved the way that she knows that she's hearing voices. She knows that this isn't what other people hear. Other people don't hear voices. Other people don't see dark beings jumping out. other people aren't trying to defeat demons. She knows that this is possibly in her head, but possibly not. But throughout all of that, she thinks if there's a chance that this is real and that she can bring her lover back, or maybe, help her village out, or maybe help her loved ones out, it's worth trying. And I think that strength, and that strength of I guess just soul, of wanting to try no matter how hard it is, because she's, as you see throughout the game, and she's struggling, and the voices that are talking to you and her, and like, it's hard, and some of the stuff that's being said to her is terrible, but she's pushing through it and she's trying anyway. And that really got to me in some parts, because she's fucking trying. And I loved her for that. And even though the game was really hard in some places, just emotionally to get through, I loved it. And I think for that, she gets my first runner-up place. She's got guts, that girl.
I
And I
think it's
loved it.
that general thing that just resonates. Might be hard, but you've
Mhm.
just tried to get through it. Like, the path that you may not be true, and it may not be like what your life or your path was going. Don't tread it, or like
Mhm.
really strong game, strong message. It's one of my beloved games. Nobody can say.
Yeah, absolutely. And the first time you recommended it, I played it because you recommended it. Um, I didn't, from the outset, I didn't realize sort of what it was. It just looked like a standard sort of fighty Viking game, not really all my thing. And when you guys talked about it and the sound design, I thought, oh, I'll give it a try. And before the credits were even up, just that first scene where you're going through the swamp, I was like, this is fucking something insanely different from anything I've ever played before. And I was in love. And that hasn't changed over, I think, 3 plays now. Just, I love it. Absolutely brilliant game. Highly recommended. And she's a badass. Absolutely somebody that you can take something from.
Awesome.
So I give myself 20 points for that. I am therefore winning. Well done, me.
Llama's
So,
point scoring algorithm. Anybody that's got the code for that, let me know.
well, I mean, you can't improve on perfection. What can I say? I will let you attempt it though, Tigsy, because it is your second runner-up time. How can you improve on Unicorn?
Well, I have to say, Unicorn, this is brilliant. We need to get that hashtag going with pictures of Una on Twitter for sure. So my next pick is Lara Croft. Now, this might be a bit cliche, okay? So saying,
Old
well,
Lara Croft or like current Lara Croft?
well, this is where I'm going to be a bit different here and say current Lara Croft. So
Okay, no, I can get behind that.
old Lara Croft was like kick-ass, as you call her, triangle tits.
Mm-hmm.
And she was awesome. And like, to be honest, whenever I was a kid, she was like, I fucking loved her. I just thought she was badass. That was my inner gay boy coming out going, oh my god, she's fabulous. I really want her outfit. Those short shorts would look good on me, bitch. So then, once the remakes were made by Square Enix, a lot of people, well, they were under like the what you call magnifying glass for a lot of Tomb Raider fans, and I thought they were just absolutely cracking. They took Lara and made her vulnerable. Yeah, I think Gigi agrees. He's come to say hello. They've squeaking at me. They took Lara and made her vulnerable and took you on her first outing, where she was beginning to explore who she was as a person. Um, and the growth from her and that first situation through the trilogy of games has been phenomenal, and she's not been sexualized. Like there was that one scene in the first one where she was, where it implied that we've spoken about in podcasts before, where it implied that that the guy might be wanting to do more than kill her, which was horrific. But just everything about it. The storytelling was amazing, and her story to becoming the Tomb Raider that she is, like, it was so layered with so much emotion, and her trying to get through things and overcome things, like as a kid, not really knowing what to do, and that's something that like I'm 36. Sometimes I come across situations and I feel like I am a kid going, "What the fuck do I do here?" And it is nice to see someone go through that and establishing who they are. And I think we all have times in our life where we go through that. But she does it with such grace and poise, and she loses like some bad things happen to some of her friends in those games, and she has to just plow through it. She's like that. Lara is absolutely fantastic, and the voice actress that played her, she's a proper actress as well. Like they went down a whole different road from, like the original Tomb Raiders, where it was pin-up models that were doing Lara whenever they went to the game shows and everything. And I remember all that, and I remember reading about it and watching it and all this whenever I was a kid, and that was super cool. But the way that they took her in a different direction, I thought was amazing. I mean, the film didn't really do it justice, but the
I think
games were phenomenal.
I think with Tomb Raider she's gone through a transition. Is this new trilogy has given you her origin story, whereas the original games were very much like, look, she's just sexy and does cool things, like
And
go
she goes,
play.
every time
Yeah,
she jumps.
like everything was very sexualized. And, it was cool. Even back then, there were a lot of female gamers. I'm pretty sure it was cool to be able to play as the Tomb Raider, the Indiana Jones lady, like running around doing the things like shots and everything else. But it was quite clearly marketed as a sex symbol, like and kind of strip all that back and create this new see her grow as see her be not just as Lara Croft, but everything that she knows and she does, and it's quite special.
And she's been betrayed, like heavily, heavily betrayed, and you get to see that through and like how that affects her character and everything, and what she does about it. Like it is just awesome. It is so cool. If you've not played the trilogy, play the trilogy.
It's on my list. Yeah, you guys sold it to me last time we talked about it. I got putting off the whole Tomb Raider thing in the first games that came out because yeah, the pinup models and things, that it felt very male gazy to me, and I didn't like it. It felt objectified, and it felt a bit gross to me, and it outweighed the yeah, I'm playing as a female in a AAA game and I'm kicking ass. It
Yeah.
outweighed it, and it kind of it tarnished it a bit for me. And I never went back to it. I loved the movies just because Angelina Jolie could
Oh, she's
play
awesome.
dirt and I'd watch her in it. I fucking love her. She'd be like, "Hi, I'm Angelina Jolie and I'm playing dirt." And I'd be like, "Take my money."
I'll have the collector's edition DVD set, thank you.
I'll have 3 copies. But yeah, the new ones, they do look really good. And I've seen the previews and the trailers a few times and thought, actually, that looks all right. So yeah, after talking about it with you guys a couple times now, you've sold me on it. I'm definitely
It,
going to
it
get
is.
them and
You
play it.
will like honestly, just the storytelling and everything is just so awesome, and getting to see her mates that she went on her first adventure with and everything, and how she talks people into things, and everything is pretty cool. I'm very excited to see how they merge old
Mm.
Lara with new Lara, because that's the next endeavor that they're going on. I've seen some character models, and she looks a bit sexy, but still realistic. I'm excited about that. I think that's going to be pretty cool.
As long as she doesn't end up with like giant square titties. I just
Ass and titties.
To be
Ass,
honest with you,
ass and
I
and
titties.
I
titties.
don't think that they need to do much with this new Tomb Raider. I think they just need to age her up a little bit and just say, yeah, there's been some time past. I don't think there's anything wrong with outfits or moveset or anything like that needs changing. To be like a 7 years later moment, like just give us a new game. Just say there's some
It's been
times,
84
yeah, times
years.
past,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I don't think that they really need to try and fuse an outdated sexualized look
Well, some of the character stuff that I've seen, like obviously she's a bit bustier and stuff because she's got a bit older. She's not like a teenager and stuff anymore. So, but they're not like over. It's not overly. I didn't think, oh, it's Lara Croft pinup back, but I went, oh, she's a sexy, strong woman. That's just what I thought. It depends if they put back in all the noises and everything, I guess, isn't it? And all
But
the
I don't think that's going to happen.
face shape it. Ah,
Yeah, she's not going to do that
I mean,
anymore.
that's what I do when I'm at the gym.
absolutely. That's what I do every morning whenever I get up. I get out of bed and I go, ah.
Yeah.
And then I walk into the door and I go, ah.
Time I walk into the wall, going down the hallway.
What I do when I'm getting up off the toilet.
All right, stop it. We're supposed to be talking about video games. We've gone on so many tangents. Beardy, what's your number 2?
Two.
Well, speaking of getting off the toilet, let's go to my number 2.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be Jill Valentine from Resident
she
Evil
rocks.
3.
Ooh, yes.
Yes.
Because I think she had such a turnaround in character. In Resident Evil 1, if you ever played it, like, she's a little bit damsel in distress. There's a lot of things that happen, and somebody else jumps in to save her. Like, and you got the iconic, like, she was almost a Jill Jibble sandwich, like, when she gets saved from being crushed or whatever it is. So in the first game, even though she was a cool character and she was badass, she's taking out zombies, blowing up mansions, like all that kind of shit, she was still like the girl that needed rescuing. But in Resident Evil 3, the table was completely turned, and she was the badass that was like, I'm gonna get myself out of this. Get this hulking character called Nemesis that was chasing her down. She had that temptation of a love interest in Carlos, but just kind of like just slapped him down. Literally, she slapped him, like, and was just like, I am not interested in this. Like, we just need to concentrate on getting out of here. And obviously, Carlos had the hots for her, and it never really like came into anything. He does save her at some point, but he'd get infected with it. Kind of let her off.
We're
for
in the
that
middle of not dying.
Yeah.
Stop trying to kiss me.
Yeah, literally, that's her stance on it, and she's such a badass, and you know, she takes down this hulking hellbent on killing her. It's stalking her. It's stalking her around Raccoon City. So it's after her. And I was do it, and she Valentine's. She's amazing. Like, and she's not, especially in the remake now. In the original PS3 game, she was slightly sexy, where she had like the kind of like short skirt thing and like the little halter top thing. But
Only
in this,
fight crime in my schoolgirl uniform.
yeah, literally.
Yeah.
But in the remake, she was very much more like sensible clothing was put onto it. It just added like, because again, she doesn't need to be sexy to do her job. Like, and she's clever, she's calculated. Like, took up all the fucking. I just love her. I think
She is awesome. I love Jill.
Badass. I do love her.
Mm.
I give you 15 points for her. Second
Gigi,
place.
can you give me some points?
Oh, I didn't give you any points. I give you 13 points for Lara Croft.
I think it's the first time I've got points from you, Llama, and not minus points.
That's true, because you keep breaking the rules, Tiggs.
I'm a rule breaker.
I'm like, pick one game, and he's like, here's 17 games. I'm like,
Oh, do you remember that? Do you remember that pre-show where I was like, "Oh well, I've chosen 13."
There's in 10 games. That's not what the rules were, Tiggs.
Edit yourself.
Regulate yourself.
What's your second pick, Llama?
So my second pick. So I've got a bit of a crush on Don't Nod.
Yeah.
The Don't Nod Studios developers. Are they developers? Studios? Yeah, I love them. I fucking love them. And so my second pick is Max from Life is Strange. I love that story. It was another episodic story. Came out in, I think, 2005. In fact, I have it here, and I was gonna look it up and be like, I know these things just off the top of my head. 2015. I was close. I had a 1 in front of it. Came out in 2015, episode 1. And it was an episodic one, so it came out every couple months. 5 episodes, the last one coming out in October 2015. And it was, the mechanic in that one was that Max could turn back time. If I could turn back. I won't
Oh,
sing
I
into
love
that anymore.
Cher.
Whoa.
Whoa! Snap out of it!
So Max could like put her hand out and turn time back. Not for super long, about 30 seconds. So if she fucked something up, like you accidentally chose the wrong choice in the story, like a narrative based game, and you're like, oh god, he got really mad at me and he hates me now. You could just rewind it and choose a different choice. It was like having an instant go back and do over, and I loved it.
I need those powers in real life.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. So that mechanic was really cool. But the storytelling in the game and the character development was just amazing. So Max, I think it took place in a little town outside of Seattle, and Max used to live there as a young kid, and her best friend was Chloe, who lived down the street. And then Max's parents moved to Seattle. So she moved away to Seattle, and something happened where when she left, she didn't say goodbye to her best friend Chloe. She just left.
Oh.
And she didn't write. She didn't like come back and visit. So there was a bit of a break there with her and her friend. And then she gets a scholarship to come back to a fancy private school back in her childhood hometown.
Mm-hmm.
So she comes back to the school and she's thinking, great, I'm going to reconnect with my friend Chloe, my childhood friend Chloe. But she doesn't do it straight away. So she's been at the school for about a month. And then she runs into her friend Chloe, who doesn't go to the fancy school, but she finds her in the fancy school bathroom doing a drug deal with one of the popular kids in her school. So like the towny kid has come in to like exchange money, do drugs. And she's hiding in the bathroom stall and she overhears the conversation, and um it sounds like the popular kid in school owes her some money. Like she's given him some drugs and he owes her money and he's refusing to pay. And she's basically saying, give me the money. And he pulls out a gun.
Shit.
And he's like, don't you fucking threaten me. I'm not giving you the money. You're just a little bitch, blah, blah, blah.
Whoa.
And you've got a choice in that moment of, do you jump out and be like, what are you doing? Or do you stay hidden? And the first time you play through, it doesn't matter what you choose. He shoots Chloe. And you scream, and that's the first time you use your power and go back in time. And then you realize you can go back in time and save Chloe. And you do that. And then you start trying to solve all these little mysteries around town. Why is he, what is he doing? Why has he got a gun in school? If you tell the principal, will he do anything about it? Why won't the principal do anything about it? What is the guy's family got on the principal? Why is all this weird stuff happening around school? Why have you suddenly got powers? And throughout this sort of mystery solving, you're also trying to repair your relationship with Chloe and solve the mystery of this missing girl in town who happened to be Chloe's friend. There's sort of an insinuation that Chloe wanted her to be more than friends, but that didn't happen. And as you're going more and more into the story, you and Chloe start becoming more than friends. And it's an absolutely beautifully told story. And it's told over 5 episodes, and each of those is probably an hour and a half, 2 hours long. And nothing's rushed. It's all very nuanced, lots of layers. And because you're constantly rewinding it to try and get it right, it feels very real. And you're really invested in it. And then at the very end, there's this giant storm that comes into town, and you're trying to save your friends and your family's lives in this storm. And you're faced with a choice of, you can either save, basically it's the trolley car dilemma. You can save a load of people or one person very important to you, and which choice do you make? And like every Don't Nod game, I was in tears multiple times during this whole series. But in the end, the character development and the way that you really attach to Max and her story and her journey as she grows up, and starts to grapple with these really adult issues of choice and belonging and who your community is and how you deal with things, was just, it was quite an intense journey, and I
Mm.
really loved her for it, and I loved that story, and I must have played that game. I've lost count how many times I've played through that game, and every time I think I'm going to choose different options to see how the story plays out differently. I always end up playing it the same way because I absolutely love Max, and I want her to have the happy ending with the
Aw.
other characters. So yeah, I absolutely love it. So that's my pick. Number 2 is Max from Life is Strange.
That's brilliant.
Good pick.
So I give myself 500 points. Well done, me. You guys are really falling behind.
We're well behind on this, Tiggs.
We suck.
Need to pull a banger out next.
I've got a banger. Don't you worry. There's a banger. She's ready
Well,
to pop.
It's time for you to crown your queen, Tiggs.
Who could my queen possibly be? I've spoken about her in so many podcasts. It is fucking Aloy.
Zelda.
No,
Oh,
she's not
Link.
a female protagonist. It's Link that's saving the princess. It's so sexist, that game. I'm on a
Princess
never-ending quest to save my princess.
Mario.
Mario.
Mario never said his pronouns.
He never said his pronouns. It's a me. No, he didn't. Fuck
We
Mario.
could all just be assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? It's Aloy.
Of course it is.
Aloy.
Aloy there.
Aloy. We love her, Aloy. From Horizon Zero Dawn.
Are you gonna mention the game or?
Yeah, Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn.
What game is Aloy in?
She lives down the street. Me and her like that.
Aloy.
Best mate.
She's lovely.
She's lovely. No, of course it has to be Aloy. She is the most badass. Sorry, Lara. Sorry, love. She is the most badass female protagonist that I have encountered in the game. She has these guys after her, like sexually and stuff, interested, and she's like, "Nah, you're right, mate. Got an Xbox. Got stuff to do. Let's sort this out." Look. Let's face it. Like, she's a rather feisty, rather sexy in a non-sexualized way, ginger, and I've got a thing for gingers. So let's be honest. Like, she's wonderful. Her dialogue's witty. She's very clever. People totally underestimate her at every available opportunity, and she fucking kicks their ass. She is just amazing, and the stuff that she learns how to do as she goes along, like, it's class. And the storyline that unfolds and her part in the storyline is just.
She's such a good character. It's such a good game. It's like the whole. When somebody says they're wise beyond their years, or that you love this person, they're wise beyond it. She is that epitome of being wise beyond her years. Like, she's growing up in this tribalized post-apocalyptic world where these people are all around her worshipping metal gods and metal demons and all the rest of it, and she's just like, "Oh, something's not right here. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, why are we doing this?" And she questions the around her and finds the answers to her own questions. Give her that information outfit.
Exactly. It's just phenomenal. And even like the rules that they have as well, it's very like, I don't know, like, you picked up someone else's shoe, we're going to excommunicate you from the tribe. Like, you excommunicate people, can't talk to each other. And she's like questioning things like that as well. And then she fucking saves everybody because she's a fucking badass. And
I like her.
they're all like, you're the outcast and everything. And they're like, no, we're not. We're going to send you on a special mission. Vision quest. We're going to send you on find your spirit animal.
Over
And then,
there, quietly away from us.
yeah, but she just like as a protagonist, like she's just brilliant, and I like all the dialogue options that you've got. You've got like a clever one, you've got a heartfelt one, and then you've got like, is it like an intimidation one, Beardy?
It's like
Or
a mean thing.
main thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can play her in different ways, but even if you go down the heartfelt route or the like sort of clever route or whatever, because I was mainly heartfelt, obviously, because I'm a big softie. Um, she didn't, even though she went down the heartfelt route to understanding someone, it wasn't I'm rolling over, ticking my belly. Do you know what I mean? It was harsh truth sometimes to get someone to realize something, or like just the way that it was scripted was brilliant, and the storyline as it unfolded, it was something that was done very, very differently about how the human race came into this situation where it had gone into primitive life whenever they were so far advanced originally, and computers were everywhere, and now it's just all this tribalized stuff. She's unfolding the mystery of that, um, and just how open she is to everything. Like she's learning about things that they don't really know, and are taboo, and she just and the monsters and stuff she can
And
take down and everything.
the conversational choices and stuff in that game as well. Like sometimes when you play like an RPG, you'll have options to say things or whatever, but it's always like when the character says something, it doesn't feel like it's something that they would say. Like, and very few games get it right. I think Aloy is one of those characters.
She is.
Rivera's one in the Witcher series. Like you can pick an option with an overlying kind of like heartfelt or intelligent or sarcastic response, whatever the are. But everything she says is very like it doesn't ever say anything that doesn't feel right for that character. Whereas sometimes
Yep.
when you get those options, you'll choose something and no, he would never say that or say it in that
Yep.
way or that phrase or whatever. He's just really well written.
She's smart. She's feisty. She's resourceful. She she gets underestimated by men actually quite a lot as it goes on, because like some of the rulers and stuff are men, and then she ends up helping everybody and sorting out their problems, and they're like, oh well, we underestimated you, and it's like, well, yeah, and she's just like, yeah, well, fuck you, and you like she's just awesome. And do you know who she reminds me of actually? If you watch Game of Thrones, Ygritte. She reminds me
Oh,
a bit of Ygritte from Game of Thrones. Because whenever I started playing that game, I wasn't expecting her to be as sassy or as switched on or whatever. I just
mm-hmm.
heard, well, it was Beardy that recommended it actually. I needed something else to play, and Aloy's pretty cool. And I'd never really seen a protagonist like Aloy until I played that game, and then it was like, oh my god, she's amazing. So she is my queen. All praise Aloy.
A worthy queen she is indeed. And if I ever get a PlayStation, I will absolutely be playing.
Oh my god, I can't wait for the second one. I'm there.
End of this year.
Oh. Well, I can't get an Oculus and a PlayStation at the same
I
time.
need an Oculus, get a PlayStation 5,
I
and
definitely need an Oculus.
then wait for PSVR 2.
Mm,
Waiting. What is that word?
well, you have to wait to get a PS5 anyway. I can't
That's
get one for toffee.
Exactly. I don't want to wait. I might as well just get an Oculus and play. Right. Beardy, crown your queen.
My queen,
Other
No,
than me, obviously.
other than you, but I think you're gonna like this one. Essie Farden from Control.
Oh, yes.
She is such a fucking badass. Like,
I love her.
and it's her story. I still don't understand the story of Control, and I think it's gonna take quite
Fair.
a few playthroughs for me to understand. But from my understanding, she is a very strong character individual anyway. Goes through something traumatic as a child. She brother, and then X amount gets it from her psychic ability to go and She has this like sixth sense type thing, Polaris, and it gives her this feeling. She goes into the Federal Bureau of Control, and it just goes batshit. Like it's just full on weird. And she gets presented with all these different. This is going to be slight spoiler alert. Have you played this game, Tig?
I've watched some of your streams.
Yeah. So
Honestly, it's not so much spoiler alert because it's so fucking confusing when you're
Yeah.
playing it. Like,
Yeah.
it makes no sense.
so she goes into like this building that is the old house. It's the Federal Bureau of Control. Think of the FBI, but like for paranormal things.
Yep.
And she walks in and somehow becomes the director of this
Surprise, you're the
agency.
boss!
Yeah, she becomes the boss. Like
Straight away.
just straight away,
Yeah.
she walks in there, and for most people, walking in, it'd be a bit like, "Holy shit, what the fuck? Like, how am I supposed to do these?" But she tackles it head on, and that opportunity to commit to her goal and get to her better. She's like, okay, so if I'm the director now, that gives me access to things, and I'm going to be able to go and find them, but I'm going to be able to find the truth.
Hmm.
And it just doesn't phase her, and I just think she's a really incredible character. Again, no love interest for her own closure, family happened to her, doing it for family, and she's not led by anybody. Wrong, like she's badass, like
And her dialogue, her
yeah.
internal dialogue
Yeah.
is amazing. I love listening to her talk to herself and talk to Polaris in her head.
And
Does
it's
she talk to? So is Polaris like some sort of sentient thing inside her, or does she just? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
It never
like,
talks back, but
Yeah.
she can understand it.
yeah, it's
So
almost
like she'll talk and then go, "Yeah, you're right," and you're like,
yeah,
"Just saying."
yeah. So it's like, you know, when you watch Most Haunted or something, got Derek O'Connor, like Sam, you hear me, Sam? Yeah, Sam. It's like that thing. So like she'll talk to Polaris. She never calls it Polaris. Like she just kind of goes, "Are you there? Like, can you hear me? Like, you know, this thing's strange. I don't know what to do. Should I go this way? Oh, telling me to go do this thing." Like she never really names it, but through the game you find out that it's Polaris. But it's almost like this feeling. So it's like when she's talking to Polaris, screen will do this like weird kind of like focus shifty phase thing with like a pattern that kind of comes up on the screen.
That's cool.
And it makes like this kind of like twinkling noise, and that's her getting the response from Polaris, and then she kind of like explain what's been said by like answering Polaris, like, "Oh,
It's
you
like
think
she's
I should
talking to
go that
Tinkerbell.
way?" Yeah. So, but she just, again, she's another character that who she is, what she,
That's awesome. She sounds like my
I
sort
do
of
love
gal.
her. She is good. She is good.
and by the end of it, become the director of like, and just everything about her changed, and now this strong like head of an organization. She just has the power. She has the presence.
She goes on a journey. Spirit
Mhm.
quests. It's all about spirit
Yeah.
quests. The female
Yeah.
leads are about spirit quests, too, aren't they?
But it's one thing that's really clever about the story is there's no pre-story, no pre-background or whatever. It's almost like you're a fly on the wall and you like being dropped into this. You're picking up straight as she arrives at the Federal Bureau. You don't know anything. Learn
No.
bits about it through the game, and then the game ends, and it's like there's obviously more going on in that story beyond the end game. And that her journey is not finished, and everything that she does going forward is it's still to be played out. But it's like dropped in you again. Not one of those like in the beginning this happened, middle section, and here's an ending that gives you closure on everything that happened. Like almost like an episode or a series from a TV or something. Like
but you
go in.
randomly dropped in the middle of it,
Yeah.
and then you got to leave before it finishes.
Yeah,
It is almost like that. You're right.
It's like 3 seasons, and you've dropped in on season 2,
Wow,
and you've only watched season 2.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's so good.
Mm.
It is really good. The writing is really good. The design is really good. I will admit, I turned on Immortality
How did you?
and Aim Assist because I was getting a bit scared. And I thought actually I'm not too bothered because it was the story that I was really enjoying, and the little fight scenes in between were just kind of a distraction from the story, and that was the bit that I wanted to get to. So I was like, I'm not too bothered about the fight scenes.
Yeah.
So I just turned on Immortality. So then it became much less stressful, and it was more about trying to figure out what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, and then there's her powers as well. She can fly, she can float, she can use telekinesis to bring things towards her and shoot things back. She can do all that kind of weird. And then she got this crazy ass gun that has different modes and things that you can do with it. It's just a really good game.
Mm.
And
It is
won,
really good.
It did win like Game of the Year. I'm sure it did.
If it didn't, it fucking should have. I got a sneeze coming. I'm just
Uh-oh.
gonna make weird faces at the camera and try not go away.
Yeah,
I think
so
it's
it
gone.
won 2019 Best Art Direction, Best
Yeah, because who was the voice actress for that? I looked her up because I was like, she's fucking good. The voice acting in that, she is amazing.
It's also got like a mix between pre-rendered graphics and like real life videos. I'm trying to think of what that is.
Videos.
I know, but you know what I mean? Like a special term for it. But it's like they've got the video game character cutscene, and then they've got the real life actors cutscenes that they kind of layer over each other in some sections.
Is it a bit like Quantum Break?
I've never played it.
What?
I've never played Quantum.
People at home are shouting what the word is that you're looking for.
No.
Nobody in chat's told us what it is, so we're on our own.
It's not FMV because that is full motion video, as in computer
That's it.
games. That is...
FMV.
Oh, well,
There it is.
Fuck's sake, Tiggs. You could have said that earlier.
I was thinking FMV, but I've not seen it done. Yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. Yep. FMV.
Yeah. So it's real video and video game video spliced together.
Yeah, cutscenes and
That's
real
how
life.
I would have said it.
Good. It's a good game.
Amazing game. I will give you 327 points for that. I love that game. Right.
Anna.
Time for the queen herself to crown her queen. So I had to think real hard about this one because there's a lot of games and a lot of like strong female characters. I was trying to think of like who I really liked and who had really good character development and who really got me in the feels. And I came back to this one a couple times and I thought, fuck it, here's my queen. And that queen is the legendary Clementine from the Walking Dead fucking the Walking Dead
Telltale
series.
games.
That's it, Telltale. I was like, don't nod Telltale.
Don't nod Telltale.
Don't nod Telltale from the Walking Dead Telltale series. Clementine. Fuck, man. Have you played these games? Huh. So the Telltale games series. Have you played any of the Telltale games?
I played some Telltale games, yeah.
Okay, so they're that sort of comic book style graphics.
Yeah.
Generally set in popular game worlds or popular story worlds. These are set in the world of The Walking Dead. And they're story driven narratives. A lot of the other Walking Dead games had a lot of puzzle based stuff. These ones specifically, the Clementine ones, they are not puzzle driven. These are narrative driven and choice based. And a lot of them had a time element to them. So, for instance, in one of the opening scenes, the first main character guy, a guy called Lee Everett, who's a convicted criminal. He's being driven. I think he's being driven to court or something like that for a court appearance. And as he's driving, something happens. I can't remember if there's the outbreak is happening and one of the cops that's driving is turning into a walker or something, like a walker jumps out. Something happens and you have to very quickly take control of the car. And you've got like 2 seconds to press a button on your controller or else the car crashes. And it's that sort of, and it comes up and you're like, and it doesn't, there's no warning. It just suddenly flashes up on the screen, press B. No, you don't press B, car crashes. And then you're injured. And it's a lot of that sort of thing. And then, a narrative will come up and press B for this option in the conversation, press A. You've got 2 seconds to choose. You got to be able to read super fast.
Oh god, these don't sound like my sort of game. Yeah.
It's like
so
they're built like QuickTime events out there.
Yeah, like that. So that's the sort of mechanic of the storytelling, but the story itself. So Lee Everett, the Walking Dead of the event has happened. The zombies have risen. The world is ending, and Lee Everett finds himself wandering this suburban neighborhood, breaking into houses, trying to find food and water and things to survive. And he breaks into this house. It seems empty. There's nobody in there. He's a good guy, he's a criminal, but he's not like a terrible person. And he's looking for food and water, and he hears there's a walkie-talkie on the kitchen counter, and he hears a crackle and a kid's voice on it saying, "Mommy, Daddy, is that you?" And he's like, where's that coming from? So he picks it up, and he starts talking, and it's a little girl's voice, and she's in the treehouse outside. And it's at this point we find out it's been a couple days since this has happened. And this little girl is called Clementine. She likes to be called Clem. And she's been living in her treehouse because the zombies can't climb the ladder up to the treehouse. So that's how she's been staying safe. And she's been waiting for her mommy and daddy to come home. So he's like, fuck, I got to take care of this kid. She's like 7 or 8 at this point. So he goes out and he's like, girl, I'm going to take care of you. And she's like, great, let's go. I want to find my parents. And he's like,
good luck with that.
I mean, okay, sure. Yeah, well, look. So they're going out. They're looking for food. They're looking for shelter. They're looking for other people. And also, keeping an eye out for her parents. They run into some other survivors. Some of them are nice. Some of them are scared. Some of them are cowards. Some of them are brave. Some of them are terrible people. And throughout these sort of different things that happen, at the very end of the first episode, they find her parents. Her parents are zombies. And she's very upset. She starts crying. I think they've been running from zombies when they see her parents in the horde. And she turns around to say to Lee, I've seen my parents. They're over there. They're zombies. And when she turns to tell him, she notices he's been bit. And so he's about to turn. And he's, at this point, they've been together for a couple weeks. And he's like, Clem, we've talked about this. If I get bit, you know what you've got to do. So the first episode ends with Clem having to shoot him.
Fuck, and she's 8.
She's like 8. And I'm sobbing, right? So I end the first episode, snot bubbles. Episode 2 arrives. And then in episode 2, you're Clem now. Throughout the rest of the episode, all the episodes now, you're Clem. The first episode, you're controlling Lee. Now you're Clem. And in the first episode, you're in a campsite and you're like finding little cans of beans and like stuff, and you're on your own scavenging, and you see there's a dog, and it's like, do you want to feed the dog? Do you want to pet the dog? And you guys fucking know me, right? I'm like, yeah, pet the dog, feed the dog. Dog bites me and I like get rabies and some shit, so I had to go back to try it again. Can't pet the dog or feed the dog because the dog will bite you. Just pro tip. I couldn't figure out how to do it without getting bitten. So you can't be nice to dogs in the apocalypse, apparently.
No.
Not an apocalypse I want any part of. But then she meets some other survivors, and she has to start making these decisions for herself at the age of 8. Who's good in an apocalypse survival situation, what is good? Because the old morals don't quite work anymore. There are morals still stand, but they're different now. You do
Yeah.
have to, in a survival situation, things are slightly different now. And what is right? What is wrong? Where does she draw the line? And she has to grow up fairly quickly. And she gets into some situations where she has to make some life and death decisions for herself and for others. And she ends up delivering a baby. She ends up subsequently in charge of that baby after saving some other people. After the mom then ends up getting bit, and she ends up raising the baby. And then in subsequent episodes, she is, basically she's growing up and growing up. And I think by the last episode, she's mid to late teens, and the baby's probably 6 or 7. So we've almost come full circle in the story now, and she's the strong, badass woman who now is not thriving in the apocalypse, but like she knows how to handle herself. She knows who
Wow.
to trust, who not to trust, and
That's
she's
cool.
teaching the baby. AJ is the kid's name. She's teaching him all the things that Lee had taught her, and all the things that she's learned, and how to survive in this new world. And I just love the story of how you're so part of that journey of learning to survive in this world, and then how you come full circle into now you're imparting those lessons on AJ, where he's the same age that she was when she first learned those lessons.
That's awesome.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Really good. And I won't spoil the ending if you haven't watched it. It is, or you haven't played it. I think it's randomly free on Game Pass, and then randomly it's like £1 an episode. So it's basically free. My wife doesn't know I paid for it, so it's fine. Fine. But I think Clem is my queen. Just the amount of tears and salt water I lost through my tear ducts playing that game was worth it. I think she's one of the most well written characters that I played in a really long time.
Oh, bless her.
That's awesome.
So that's our queens. I think that was a really good mix of characters.
Yeah,
And
for
we
sure.
made it hard on ourselves with some of those rules. And even though Tiggs threw the rules out the window on his first one.
Hey, on your first episode, you didn't play as your main protagonist, so we did the exact same thing.
That's true. But I started the game with 500 points ahead, so the -3 that I get for that will make up for it.
Do we have to rank these 3 now?
No. No, we don't rank queens.
They all reign.
know that Aloy is the
They
queen
all
of them
reign.
all.
Oh, I mean, yeah, no, that was a really good mix, and actually, yeah, putting those rules in place and trying to pick stuff that we wouldn't normally pick. I think we got a good mix of stuff. That was good. I liked it.
That's good.
Oh. So what have you guys been playing then? Outside of these amazing queens that we've been talking about. What have you been playing this week? Beardy, you've been playing everything. Every time I turn on my phone, you've been streaming.
Yeah. So, well, the main thing that I'm playing at the minute is Pokemon Sword and Shield. So I
Notice how it had a name and not some random number.
So I've jumped onto. Well, it was always a plan. I wanted to do some shiny hunting. I wanted to get some shiny legendaries. And was it last weekend? Weekend before last. Yeah, on my birthday stream, I got myself my first shiny legendary, shiny Registeel, which I was super excited about. Cool moment. Really on. Like, right, I'm going to do all the legendaries, get all the legendaries shiny. The only ones that I can't get shiny at the minute is the ones that I've already caught from Pokemon Sword, which is Calyrex, the Ghost Horse, 3 legendary birds, the box legendary, a couple of other bits. But if I go to the Dynamax raid den things, I can go back through all the other Pokemon legendaries and have a chance to get. I'm like, cool, I'm going to do that. been doing that. The second legendary I decided to go Regirock. And Regirock is being a little bitch. So
I don't know what that means.
Registeel. So the Regis are the trio titans. So they've got Regirock, Registeel, Regice, and then they're all ruled by Regigigas. So I got Registeel in 89 attempts, I think it was, which is pretty fucking good. Regirock, though, at the minute, I'm currently 1,052 encounters, and he's still not turned up shiny, and he is piecing me off
That's
because he should have appeared by now.
That's a lot of attempts.
Yeah. So, because I have a shiny charm, and I've
Is that
defeated
what you
him.
call it?
Yeah. Because I completed the main Pokedex for Shield, I get a shiny charm, which brings the odds down for getting. So base odds is like 1 out of 4,642, I think. So every 1 out of 4,000 could be a shiny. But with the shine charm and everything else that I've done, and defeating Regirock over 500 times, that should bring my encounter rate down to 1 out of 512. But I'm currently 4 times over that and still not seen a Reggie. So I'm getting a bit straight with him now. But I will. The other thing I've been playing is Bloodborne. Been doing that on the stream. Having loads of fun with it. Really enjoy that game. And the other thing is Avengers. I've been trying to get all my characters level capped, ready for Clint's thing coming out on the 19th and the PS5 versions. I'm still really surprised that I'm enjoying the Avengers after I trash talked. Enjoying it. So.
You ain't the only one
I'm
that
surprised as
that.
well.
Yeah.
I figured you'd have given up on it.
GG. No, I've actually really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Surprisingly, a lot of my original opinions still stand firm. I think I don't like Iron Man as a character to play with. I think that Anthem did flying suits better than what Avengers did, which is not really saying Anthem's just been cancelled. It's new revival. I still think that Thor is a good character, but I think his hammer doesn't have the weight that I feel like it should have. I fucking love Black Widow. She's my favorite character. I'm really, awesome. Really enjoying
one with the really stretchy arms that punches everything.
Kamala
Khan, really enjoyed her. No, I'm talking about.
I like her.
She's awesome.
I just walk around punching everything.
The other girl with the bow and arrow and the sword. I forgot her name now.
Sword girl.
Sword girl.
Her name is
Arrow.
Sword girl.
Chitara.
Thunder. You're a hoe.
Oh, Chitara and them thighs. Oh.
I quite like Lion. A really nice meeting.
Her name is Kate Bishop.
Is she a singer?
Maybe, but in the Marvel universe, she's Clint's protege. Trained her up on how to bow and arrow. She's a lot of fun. With a hawk.
Stretchy punchy girl's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kamala Khan. She's awesome. Like her.
Yeah, no, that's been my thing. There's other games I've been playing as well. Side for street bits and bobs. Not going to include. They're not real games that I'm playing. I mean, like I've been playing through Resident Evil series, but I've been playing it for a series, not to play it. If that makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
No.
So I've been doing on my channel. I've done a thing called Road to Resident Evil 8, where I've been playing
Yeah,
all
so
the mainline entries in the Resident Evil franchise to see what mechanics and stuff that they had going into the 8 game when it comes around. So it's not really, I'm not playing the game. I'm playing it to like see what its mechanics are and talk about that kind of stuff.
To like nerd out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite the same.
nerdgasm.
I'm not doing it for me.
Oh,
Doing it for your watchers.
Doing it for the road.
Tig, save
I don't
us.
know.
What have you been playing? Make
well,
him stop.
so do you remember when some of us get games, then play the game, then move on to another game?
Mm-hmm.
Dig into it. Little beauty's face. No, I'm only joking. No, I'm not only joking. That is how I play games. To be fair, I did shelve Nathan Drake and Uncharted. I don't know. I just lost interest. So now I am playing Super Mario 3D World.
Have a backlog. Get a backlog as big as mine. Join
It's
us
not
on
all
the
about
dark side.
size.
Since we started this, I have been like, oh, I'll just buy that and leave it there. And I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't start. Because you'll end up like Beauty and Sif. Don't do it. And the more time
I'll
goes
need
on,
an app to organize
Yeah.
my games that I haven't played.
and the more time goes on, the more I feel like I'm actually going to end up doing that by the end of this year. But anyway, yeah, Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. So I completed the main Super Mario 3D World, and I think I'd played bits of it before. I think I was asked to help to get some stars or whatever before, but I've never actually played it. I never had it myself. Oh my god, what a cracking game. It is so much fun. And it's not just
Okay.
because of kitty cat suits, because they are awesome. That was, let's face it, that was the reason why I bought it.
We know
She
you
gets
love
me
a furry
kitty.
suit.
Yes. And never been in a furry suit. Maybe I'll change that. A Mario furry suit. That'd be well good. Kitty cat one. Yeah, if anybody wants to make me one of them, because I'm shit at sewing, I'd be that girl in RuPaul's Drag Race. Oh, a sewing
You've never
challenge?
sewed, girl?
Let me stick things together. Let me get my glue gun out. So I played through the main storyline and that, and it was a gift that kept on giving because it looked like there was 5 worlds. It was actually like 8, I think. And I was like, oh, there's more, there's more, there's more. It had Tanuki Mario. It had White Tanuki Mario, which was like a mixture between having star power, and a Tanuki suit. It was like super awesome. It's co-op, but I've not played the co-op. If anybody wants to play co-op with me, drop me a message on Twitter because I want to try that
He
out.
hasn't got Instagram.
Because I don't have Instagram. And at Tigger Time. And now I'm on to Bowser's Fury, which is like the extra bit that they put on whenever they released it. And wow, it is cracking. They have totally like made like a brand new 3D Mario with like mini adventure, and it is absolutely awesome. It is so much fun to play. And I'm just like, all right, I'll just play. I'll just do a little bit more. Just do a little bit more. And then I'm like, all right, I need to go to bed now. I need to go to bed. Work. But it is absolutely awesome. It is so worth it. So I think I've done the first main set of worlds in that. And it's just the level of design and stuff's really good. Like in 3D World, it's a bit sort of fixed angles to an extent, whereas this is just like a full 3D Mario. So it's sort of I haven't bought the 3D All Stars because I only really like Super Mario Galaxy. But I'm sort of thinking just before that gets discontinued at the end of the month, I might take a little trip down the Galaxy Road again because it reminded me of how much fun I had playing Super Mario Galaxy. I loved that game. And the remake is, and the Bowser's Fury is a bit sort of giving me those vibes, which is very, very cool. And spoiler alerts, don't listen for the next 30 seconds if you don't want it spoiled. But Bowser's like giant, something's happened to him. That's not good. So you find that out at the very start. But then you get this cat bell thing going, and to fight him, Mario turns into a giant fucking cat. He's like a massive lion. It is so, and it happened last night, and I was like, oh. And I was like trying to get my phone to take pictures, and I was like, "Can I post that to Twitter? Is it a spoiler? I'm really impressed. Mario is a massive cat.
I
This
mean,
is so cool."
I don't think you need to worry about spoilers because it's not like the rest of Twitter worries about spoilers, is it?
This is very true. So I think I might post it because it is fucking cool. It is so cool. So if you like Kitty Cats and Mario and liked Mario Galaxy, then you will like Bowser's Fury. I think it was really good. Good. It was much better than what I expected. I thought it was just going to be some little shitty add-on thing, that was half-assed. I wasn't expecting fully 3D rendered Mario with beautiful water. That's what I love. Nintendo do water so well.
Didn't so was Super Mario 3D World, was that already something that was released and they
Yes,
re-released it for Switch?
yes. As part of the 35th anniversary, I think it was. I think it was on 3DS potentially. Can't
Well,
remember.
I feel like it's a Wii U game.
I think it was also
Yeah.
on the Wii U, but I think it was on 3DS as well. I'm not sure. Fact check.
Digital Monk in the chat says
Awesome. Yes. Yes, Mario turning Super Kitty Cat. Awesome. I mean, Gigi enjoyed it as well. Why are you squeaking at me? What have you done?
He's got
He's
things
done
to
something.
say.
and I
He's
feel like this is the last Mario Wii U game that's come across now to the Switch. I don't think there's much more Wii U got to port across.
The only thing that I'm disappointed in with these Super Mario 35th anniversary stuff is I didn't play Mario Galaxy 2 and they haven't made it. So I feel like I've missed out there.
Did they make a 2?
And I think I got rid of my Wii U because a Wii because I got a Wii U and then I just never got it. And it disappointed me. I was disappointed in myself. I let myself down. I lost gamer points there.
I kind of feel like, though, with these releases, the reason they brought them from the Wii U to the Switch is because they obviously spent a lot of money developing, and the Wii U platform wasn't exactly the successful thing in the world, was it? So that back on it.
Yeah,
Which is
it was.
fair, company's got a company, got to make its money.
I think he's got something he needs to say to you right now in your face.
Cat.
What do you need to say, Gigi? Do you want to tell the viewers? Oh, you wanted a kiss. I think that's all he wanted. He just wanted a kiss. Anyway, Lava, what you been playing?
Well, I've been playing Control. So yeah, I've been playing that. I'm really shipping. I want her to kiss Emily. Like every time I go back to the boardroom, I desperately want her to just I want the option to make out with Emily. I haven't seen it come up yet, but I keep re-engaging the chat with Emily to see if it's an option. So far it has not been. But I'm keeping the dream alive just in case. But no, I'm really enjoying it. Like we said earlier, the story, the dialogue, the way that they're interleaving the actual video with the computer or with the game cutscenes is really cool. I'm a little annoyed with the phone, the director's phone.
Oh yeah.
Like I keep getting the oh, you've got 5 new videos to watch, and I'm like, okay, cool. I've got all these messages, but it's the same the phone ringing 30-second clip at the beginning, and I'm like, fucking stop playing that because my dog hates the sound of a phone ringing. And every time it rings, my dog's looking at me going, I'm gonna howl. I'm gonna fucking howl. And then it keeps playing. And I'm like, stop. Just play the transcript or something. Just stop it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's such a good game.
But yeah, no, I'm really enjoying that game.
It's
really
on Game Pass
enjoying
as well, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, that's why I've got it, because it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, so I played it through on stream on Game Pass, and then just as I finished it on Game Pass, it became free on PlayStation with the Control Ultimate Edition, which is the shiny PS5/Xbox Series version with all the super graphics and high fidelity, all the DLC included. So now I'm going to go back and play it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's. I think that might be the version I've got. The X is the version. Not that I'm ever gonna get an X.
I'm not sure. I think the one on Game Pass is just control base.
Is it?
Just vanilla entry version.
Basic.
I'm not normally vanilla, but when I am, it's on Game Pass. That's our soundbite for this one, guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I've been playing. Just that because that's all I've had time for. Other than that, it's just been work.
Work in the
Yeah, that's it. Reader mail.
Oh God, are we getting into this? No.
No,
No,
we're
that
not
was
reading the fake reader mail that we
No,
got.
I think that was a Tig's special for the pre-show.
It was a pre-show special. If you want to find out what the reader meal was, feel free to DM any of us, and we'll tell you what that was.
It's on our OnlyFans account. Okay, well, I guess.
I've checked the inbox. There's no actual reader mail, so.
Lies, I saw
not
that.
even that lovely woman.
Email and then in the inbox. That's why I added it to show notes.
Oh, that lovely woman that was going to give us all the money if we would just give her some money first.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let me check the junk mail. See if there's anything in there.
Is there anybody trying to?
I worry about her.
No,
she might
we
just
do
need
have
help.
A new follower. Nice.
Aww. Hi, welcome.
Jeff Mondant. Very much for the.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Where's my junk? What are you going to do with all that junk inside that junk?
Look at this distinguished gentleman.
No spam.
Look at him sitting in the chair, all like clever and thing.
Yeah. Co-pilot.
Yeah, no spam today. Nobody wants to. Nobody wants us to save them with money.
Oh well.
I keep getting some guy emailing me telling me that he can help me by providing logoed floor mats for my business. And I'm like, does he know something that I don't? I don't have a business. I don't have a logo, and I don't know what I would need floor mats for.
I've seen a rapidly increasing trend on my Instagram and my Facebook and my, strangely enough, PlayStation accounts where I keep getting young, attractive females sending me links to see their pictures. They think I'm super hot, and I'm like, girl, my name is literally Beardy Gamer. Like, you need
GAY, motherfucker.
Yeah, you need to sort your algorithm out. Because you're backing up the wrong tree. It makes me laugh though.
Yeah, it is funny.
Camgirl 1712145.
Oh, she's my favorite.
Click on my link. I've got something to show you. Like, clicking on that, I can see the virus-ridden thing from here.
Yeah.
And that's not the link she's talking about, girl.
Yeah. It's like I think you're really attractive and intelligent and smart, and I just want to show you my pictures. So click here, and it's like the link's like my naughty pictures / see them here. And I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever.
.ru.
About that?
Yeah, you and Uncle Vladimir can keep them.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think we've finished maligning the camgirl industry.
Yep.
Yeah, we haven't got any reader mail to make fun of. So in that case, then I think it's time for closeout. As always, you can find us on the normal social media channels, which is all the cool ones.
Hit us up.
Yeah, we are also on iTunes, Spotify, all the cool podcast channels, all the where the popular kids hang out. We're probably not there, but we'll be in the background somewhere.
We're in the corner,
hanging out with We're in the corner, hanging out with the nerds, the super cool kids in the corner. At Gaymers Assemble, GAYMERS, Assemble spelled with an ass like the normal way because we like that too. And you can email us. Yeah, you can email us if you want to give us some reader mail. It is gamersassemble@gmail.com.
Or sign us up to some spam emails. Like, we'll read those
sign us up to spam email. Tell us about the hot singles in our area. I mean, poor Tiggs is pushing people into canals for attention. Just like tell him who's in Manchester.
I unintentionally,
So he
yeah, no,
says.
I was nowhere near the bloke. I mean, who's stupid enough to wiggle their wheel that much that they come off their bike and go in? I didn't
Poor
even see him
guy.
go in.
It's like stopped, wiggling his wheel, smiling, joking, like, "Hi, how are you? Hi, it's so funny. Oh, I fell in. Tiggs, help me!" And Tiggs is like, "Fuck you, bitch. Bye." That's what happened.
I've been a little bit obsessed with Scandal recently because it's just come to Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah.
Their star. And I fucking love Scandal. And I used to watch it all the time, but I fell off watching it, so I decided just to go back to the beginning and watch it all again. So I've watched enough Scandal to know, Tiggs, that like your alibi sucks. I'm gonna have to handle this. Olivia Popia.
Oh,
To the bottom
God.
of this story.
We're gonna find a body in the canal and
Mhm.
know that his alibi is shit. We're gonna have to find that girl. She'll have a video on her phone.
Yep.
You're going down, Tiggs.
Yeah, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get my hook to hack into
I'm
your
a
phone.
total hippie. I'm like, make love not war.
Have you seen Scandal?
No, but I do
You
know
need
about
to
it.
watch it. It's so fucking good. Like it's how I imagine the presidency actually is. Like the whole thing over there in America with like DC and everything else. That's what happened. That's what I believe.
We were 3 seconds away from closing out the show and then went on a tangent.
This needs to be renamed the episode with the most tangents ever.
Tangents Assemble.
We can't be helped.
I know. We are the worst 3 for it, really, to be fair.
Yeah. Tangents Assemble.
But yeah, that should be our alternate show.
Yeah.
Right. We have been Gamers Assemble. Y'all have been awesome. Thank you very much.
Hurrah!
Keep calm and game on. Goodbye.
Woo! Game